And then I heard a voice after that says, go back to sleep. He's not going to be bothering you anymore tonight. And, but yeah, there's some see, I don't trust anybody that has been abducted by aliens. Usually the abducted ones, they don't come back the same person.
Right, they replace their souls.
Yeah, they got an alien in them.
Yep.
And also, there's other ways in which they're walking among us. Some of them will destroy whoever it is they want to replace, and then they'll stick in an android that has all the information downloaded into him of that person, complete history from beginning to end. And then there's another way that they can do it is that they can clone you. And then there's some that I've heard that can actually just simply download information into a computer. And so basically, if anybody tries to recall any of their past records, they've got a complete history, you know, from the time in which they were born to the present, you know, that basically covers up the fact that they're an alien.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is true. People think it's fiction. It's like, no, I'm always telling, where do you think Hollywood gets their ideas for fiction movies? This stuff's already happening. It's going on.
But I know the Nordic aliens. They use androids to replace people, and now the Greys. Believe it or not, most of your gray aliens usually are the thickest around mortuaries.
Yeah.
Because what they do, as soon as a body dies, and every once in a while they can get away with it. I don't know how they do it, but they just revive the body by climbing into the body.
I haven't heard of that. Oh, wow. Now, I knew
I actually knew a guy that had a zipper in his front that I could see where he had a gray alien in him. He went by the name of Quay Fitch.
And so these aliens just jump in their bodies before they're totally dead cold and...
Well, yeah, they put them on like a coat. Like we put on a jacket. And it's really sick. I mean, personally, I don't trust anybody that works in mortuaries anymore. And not only that, I guess the Mason Church is usually connected with a majority of them.
Well, what I discovered was that these gray aliens that abduct 300,000 children a year alone here in the United States, besides eating them, is what they do is they put them in these big vats and they boil them, body parts, and they soak in this solution to keep their skin the color that it is. Otherwise, they turn into a putrid yellow.
Oh, yeah. No, that's interesting.
Yeah. And, you know, I have that information on my website, thewatcherfiles.com. Read about the Dulce base. You know, that stuff will blow you away. And this isn't stuff that, you know, this stuff's been around for years. Well,
you know, what's really, I could get in trouble for saying this, but, you know what, also another reason why I know that the aliens are walking among us is that years ago, when I went to Orchard, Nebraska, back when I was living in the other state, that there was a group of people called the Dempsters, and I wouldn't doubt if I get in trouble over this, but anyhow, I later found out that they were reptilian shapeshifters, and what's really interesting about reptilian shapeshifters is they have kind of like a medium dark skin on them. And if you note, if you walk into UPS depots nationwide, that they pretty much have all of these people that have this medium-colored dark skin on them.
Let's talk about some people that our listeners might be able to relate to. Do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger, his skin looks like it's stretched over his face?
Oh, what was this now?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I heard stories, well, that he might be an android, but I actually knew a scientist over there in California who gave me some information on time travel back in the 80s. He swore up and down that he helped to construct the android called Bill Koppel, that you know, broadcast news to the public.
Right.
And most people don't realize it, but and a lot of people say, you know, Bill Koppel has a strange appearance, or has a almost mechanical appearance about him.
You mean Bill Koppel, or do you mean the Ted Koppel that everybody knows?
Well, yeah, that's what I meant, Ted Koppel.
Ted Koppel, okay.
Yeah, and...
it's like a little Smurf or something, elf or something.
And, but anyhow, he helped to build the android Ted Koppel. Now, I wouldn't be a bit surprised that if Arnold Schwarzenegger is some sort of an android, that he helped to build him as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think he's going to be the Terminator or the Antichrist at the end and all this, and I just don't see him playing in anything, but... you know,
I don't know. I think they might have a lot of lookalikes of Arnold that are androids, but
well, we've got at least 4 or 5 Britney Spears clones.
Yeah, and but I think the original Terminator or Arnold Schwarzenegger is actually a human being, because there's nothing mechanical in the original version of him. I really admire the guy too. You know, he put out some really righteous movies.
Well, what he's done is he's been kind of a mouthpiece for the intel agencies and the government, kind of giving people a taste of the technology we've had at the time. They always reveal something in all these movies they put out.
Well, I think he's trying to get people to be aware of, you know, what's going on in the world today. And
but he's also associated with all the lizards, so you can't discount him. I mean, you are who you were associated with, so they say.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I just you know, I just get these feelings off of people, and usually I don't go and see a movie unless I get a good feeling off the actors.
Well, are you as amused as I am every year at the beginning of the year speech by the president to see everybody in Congress at one time? The State of the Union.
What was that?
Does that amuse you as much as it does me? The State of the Union address every year, to see all the congressmen in one place.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't. Are you referring to politics, you mean?
Oh, yeah. State of the Union address. The president speaks every January and gives the whole country a year full of lies to hang on to.
I never listen to politics. As far as I know, I don't even know what even goes on in the world today.
I just find it interesting. I mean, you look at, you know, the Clintons, the Ridges, the Rumsfeld, Cheney, all of them. I mean, they're just all...
Well, if you understand my life, you see, I'm constantly switching into other dimensions. I am actually not grounded to three-dimensional space. I'm not a being like everybody else imagines a physical being to be, I guess.
Okay, well,
I've jumped so many times through time that I've actually lost my, I guess you could say, substance.
Okay, Steve, we're going to have to wrap this up.
Okay.
I'd like to thank you for being on the show tonight. I loved it. Love you to have you back next month sometime.
Yeah, it was great. Maybe we can hash out some more of those topics connected with those bad aliens.
Yeah, we'll just pick up where we left off next month sometime. How does that sound? Okay, what I want to tell the listeners, next week I've got Tim Waite. He'll be here, find out about the Bush-Denver connection, the airport, city underneath the Denver airport, why the Queen owns so much land in Colorado. We're going to get into that whole Denver connection here with an underground New World Order. Until next week, folks, good night. This is Sherry Shriner. Have a blessed night.
This is the Reality Radio Network on Telstar 5 Transponder 5 and on the internet at realityradionetwork.com.